Yo, what is up, guys? Joker here, bringing you another video for the 3.23 Affliction League. I just wanted to make a quick PSA announcement saying that this is probably my favorite league. Question mark? I don't know. Sentinel is still really good, but this league is insanely good. Like it's tied with Sentinel for me, right? That's how good it is because granted, the affliction mechanic itself is insanely rewarding. The huge meta shakeup and everything with all the transfigured gems has been insanely cool as well. On top of that, the economy is in a place where 1%er items are brought down to the level of the average player, right? Items like Mage Blood, Headhunter, these things that are usually multiple hundreds of divines are insanely cheap. Look at this. If we go ahead and we look at a Mage Blood, it is only about 100 to 150 divines. A Headhunter is only 75-ish divines, right? And that's insane when you think about the fact that literally any currency method that you do this league is getting you at least 5 divines at a bare minimum. You can do literally anything besides stand in your hideout and still make at least 5 divines an hour. Now, this isn't baseless, right? I've gathered examples to show, plus, I mean, like the half a dozen videos that I put up this league showing methods where you make at least 5 divines an hour. And that's if you're doing them on like an insanely low budget, right? So, you're making 5 to 10 divines an hour this league doing everything. So it is making this league the most new player and player accessible that any league has ever been, period. Well, I mean, maybe Original Harvest because it was super easy to actually get really strong items. So you were able to do a lot of content you might not have done before. Same thing pseudo with Sentinel, right? Because you were able to get really strong items really easily, and Sentinel was also really rewarding. But I still think that this league has them beat because of the fact that everyone is magic finding. If you do literally anything else, you are making 5 to 10 divines an hour. If you're magic finding, you're obviously making at least 5 to 10 divines an hour. So let's look at a couple of these examples, right? If we go ahead and look at the Maven's Writ is 3.3 div each, right? There's a couple for 3.2, but it's literally like 4 and they're all AFK. So they're 3.3 divs each, which means that the shards, the splinters are going to be like 80C each, right? These have an insane, they're literally going 3 to 1 for a fucking divine. And you can put in a red map, scoured, rush the boss and kill it, and do 10-way fights with using like destructive play and all of the influence nodes. And you're going to be making probably 7, 12 divines an hour. The reason why is because even if you do a scoured 10-way, right? Even if it's not rare, you get a base splinter drop. So you are receiving a third of a divine, so like 85C every 10-way. There is no way a scoured boss rushing strategy is taking you any longer than 3 minutes a map, right? So let's say you do 30 maps, right? You do 30 maps of this 10-way strategy. By the end of that, if you do nothing and pick up nothing besides the one guaranteed crescent splinter that you're going to be getting, you're still going to be getting a divine's worth of currency for literally zero investment. Now, that may not sound like a lot, but that strategy is saying that you're not picking up anything, which is extremely unrealistic. Nobody picks up nothing. I mean, besides fast as fuck, but they don't count, right? Um, so you are going to be making the base 1 to 1.5 divines for just doing a fucking scoured map, let alone if you put literally any other strategy in it. So let's go ahead and take a look at the next thing, right? Incandescent energies, right? Energies, that's RuneScape. That's not this game. Incandescent invitation. These are also 3 to 3.3 div each, and you have to run 28 maps. I mean, with the nodes that give like extra progression, it's obviously less. I think it's like a 10% chance for it to count or something. So it would be like on average 25 instead of the yeah yeah. I think it'd be something like 25 or 24 maps instead of 28. Regardless, right, it would still be less than that. But let's use that same example. Let's say you're literally just running in and you're killing the map boss. Let's say it takes you 3.5, 4 minutes a map. So times that by 28. What is that? 96, right? So an hour and a half. And an hour and a half of picking up literally nothing. Let's say you're not interacting with the altars, you're not picking up anything. Same thing, you're just running in, killing the boss, leaving the map, and then on the 28th map, you pick up the invitation. Even if you do that, even if that somehow takes you 4 minutes a map, that's an hour and a half, right? That is you making what, like in this case, 1.7 divines or something like that an hour because of the hour and a half. So it's going to be something roughly like that. And that's with you literally not engaging with anything else or picking up anything in the map. If you do any kind of mapping, literally anything, it is a baseline of 1 to 2 divines an hour for just playing the game. Do you know how insane that is? Usually in previous leagues, if you found strategies or if you had strategies that were like 10 plus divines an hour, you were like roughly average to higher average of the player base, right? No, this league, if you're using a 10 divine an hour strategy, you're on the lower end of currency making. So we went over, right, just normal boss rush, running in, scouring a map, running in, killing the boss. On the 28th map, you pick up the invitation, or if you're doing 10 ways, you run in, kill the boss, and then you do the 10 way, you get the splinter, right? There's no way if you're rushing this that you're doing 10 maps an hour. You're obviously going to be doing 15, 20 plus maps an hour with this type of strategy. So at a base minimum, you should be getting 2 to 3 divines an hour with literally zero effort as long as you're playing the fucking game, let alone if you get lucky and you drop anything like a Valdo's puzzle box, which is 3 divines on its own, or you engage with literally any other mechanic in the game, you're going to be making more than 3 divines an hour. So let's go ahead and continue. Fracturing orbs. I think I've made like 3 or 4 videos on this because it's just fucking insane how expensive these things are, right? It's getting to the ridiculous point. So fracturing shards are 28 divs each. I think they've gone up like 10 divs since the last video I've made. It's literally gone up a third of the price. It's fucking stupid, dude, right? So on average, for me to buy, actually, I'll go ahead and I'll show you, right? If I go, oh, good thing I didn't type in like Pornhub or something. If I go to POE Stack and I buy the sextants that I run, so I run Breach, I run June, and I run a Harvey, right? These are the 3 sextants that I'm running right now. And as you can see, the main reason is because they are cheap as fuck. For 40 maps worth of sextants, it's pretty much one divine, one and a half divines. So that means I literally only have to draw. Actually, I don't have to drop anything. I just have to run the maps. Running those maps is going to give me double the currency that I put into it, right? Because at the end of 28 maps, I'm going to drop an incandescent invitation 100% of the time. It's not like it's an RNG drop. That happens 100% of the time. And that is 3.3 divs, which is literally double the investments. So don't do that. Don't run like scoured white maps with these sextants. That sounds stupid. Please don't do that. But you could. I just wanted to make the point that you literally could do that and still double your investment. And that's getting insanely unlucky and picking up literally nothing besides the incandescent invitation that drops on the 28th wave. Let's go ahead and look at some other strategies. So, all of the delirium orbs are still 30 plus C each. So, if you're just running Deli, Simulacrum, I believe, is like 180 C or something. Where's my Deli tab? Um, it is 185 C. Oh, a lot of people are just selling them one to one, right? So 185 C to one divine. If we go ahead and take a look at the invitations, the Maven's invitation, the Formed, the Elder Slayers, the Twisted, these are all maps that can drop. And when you spec into these small nodes here, it's an 8% increased drop chance for the Maven's invitation. Not only would you be doing that, but in a strategy like that, you would be running the Conquered Conquerors, Remnants of the Past, and the Vivid Memories for your highest chance at influenced and synthesized maps. On top of that, your tree would look different. You would pretty much get all of the chance for the maps to be duplicated. And if you want to go a little bit harder, you would get this sextant that always drops either an elder, a shaper, or a so on map, right? Or a conqueror map, right? You'd get that sextant. That way it kind of guarantees that you get that map. But once again, super easy and super, 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 super low investment, right? This is you literally running into map and killing boss. And if you pick up one additional drop, you're getting 4 or 5, 6 times your investment. Not only that, with running the running the Searing Exarch altars, you're able to go ahead and get Awakened Sextants, which Awakened Sextants sell for, I want to say 5 each. Yeah, in bulk they sell for 4 to 5 each. So on top of that, it also has like the Chaos altars and the insanely stupidly expensive Grand Eldridge Ichor altars, which if you get this altar and you have a decent map, you're leaving that map with easily 60, 70, 80 C over what you invested in it just because those are so expensive. Continuing on with the examples, right? Let's say you want to kill bosses instead, right? If you kill the Maven or Cirrus, right, you're going to have the availability of getting the Awakened Gems. And the Awakened Gems are insanely expensive. Let's say we only look at the level 1 gems, right? For whatever reason, you're not going to upgrade it. For majority of these gems, you are still breaking even, if not making profit for what is this, like 20 some different gems. Obviously, some of these are gated behind the Awaken Maven, like the Awaken Empower and Awaken Enlighten. But if we look at like Awaken Fork, Awaken Multi Strike, Awaken GMP, Awaken Spell Echo, Awaken Cast on Crit, right? Awaken Wed, Unbound Elements, right? And even if you don't get any of these, if you are able to, let's say, run Awakened Maven, with that initial 3.3 div cost, the elevated sextant price right now, I believe, is somewhere like 200 C each or somewhere around there. I may be incorrect, it may be lower, but 150, right? So if you have any kind of bulk, you could probably push it to like 170-ish. Actually, if I go ahead and take a look, let's see what people are selling these for. Let's say you have at least 10. Oh, no results found. Okay, let's see. Oh my God, give me 60 seconds. You know what? We're coming back to that example later. So if you go ahead and you delve, you'll be able to make an insane amount of profit as well. You may be looking here and be like, oh, so these aren't that expensive. This is extremely misleading, right? If you actually look at the prices of fossils and any kind of bulk, you're seeing 50C for fucking perfect fossils, two corroded fossils, 15, 20C, right? And these people up here, the reason why I'm not looking at those is because they only have two or three, right? So I'm going to be competing with the people that are selling like 20 as opposed to the people that are selling three. So if you're selling I think even with the frigid fossils, I hit my timer again. Even with frigid fossils in bulk, you're selling them for like 4C each this league. Resonators are 3C each. If you sell them in bulk, they're probably way more expensive than that. They're probably closer to 6 or 7C each. Continuing on with the examples, with that video I put out with the Kraka Chimerals, 4.6 divines. I really should have kept them an extra couple days, but hindsight be damned, right? But yeah, even if you only find one Kraka Chimeral in an hour, which is extremely unrealistic, and you're not running Essence, let's say you're just running Beast for whatever reason, you only find one Kraka Chimeral, it doesn't dupe, you don't have the Sextant to have it dupe, you don't have any other party members with you, you are still making 5 div in that hour. Same thing with Essence. These prices are still pseudo misleading, right? With since I've been crafting, I can tell you that all of these are at least 14, 15 to a divine, right? All of these are going to be insanely expensive. And then same thing if you want to go ahead and get your Travik on and do Blight. Golden oils are 190C each. If you want to do blighted maps, tainted oils are 3 divines each, dude. I can only really speak on the golden oils because that's what I usually have experience with blighted farming. I've never done like blighted maps really. I've only done like the toxic sewers and like the narrow map strategy where you force them all down one path. And I was able to make a stupid amount. You know what? I'm gonna make a video on blight. I'm gonna make a video on blight, even though I really don't want to do it right now. I'm gonna make a video on blight, and I'll even time it. I'll do it for like 2 hours and see how much I make in those 2 hours. But once again, moving on to the next example, if you're running high tier maps, anything over T11, you're able to drop all those puzzle boxes, which are 3 divines each. You're able to drop the Voidborn Reliquary Key, which is 190 div, that'd be nice. 190C. Breach stones, the thing that I've been running, all have a blessing that is essentially 3 divs, right? It's insane that the blessings are 3 div. The breach stones on their own are about 80 div each, right? Now, let's go ahead and hop over to TFT real quick. Let's go ahead and take a look at TFT. If you're unaware, TFT is where you're going to be selling stuff in bulk. But look at some of these fucking prices, dude. Cirrus sets are 1.7 div each. Maven Ritz, 3.8 div in bulk. Once again, 1.7. Do we have elder sets? Yeah, 36 elder sets for 60 div. So 1.5 div each. To put this into perspective, last league when I did my flipping video, you saw the prices of a lot of these things. I believe you did. I believe I included that. But even five ways, right? Five ways are selling for 2 div each. That's insane. If we go ahead and we take a look at the maps, let's say you're running that destructive play strategy, right? Conqueror map sets, 2 div for 1 set. So that means 400C for 4 maps. That puts each map at about 100C. Like it's insane the amount of currency that you can get this league. But I'm going to end this video because I think it's like 20 minutes of me just ranting. So please watch the entire thing. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay up to date with this and future videos. But that's the reason why there hasn't been the currency making videos as much this league, is because I made a few, but then it's literally you can do everything. You can do any and everything and make 5+ div an hour, which puts you at like 16 hours for a headhunter. It puts you on the low end at like 24 hours for a mage blood. Let's say you only play for 5 hours a day, right? You can grind out your headhunter and your mage blood within a week of barely fucking trying, dude. The amount of currency in this league is just ridiculous. I love it so much. I really appreciate GGG giving us a league like this every now and then, especially since we've had some big wet fart leagues like Lake of Calandra that we just don't talk about. But this has been so much fun. I hope you guys are enjoying it. I hope you're getting everything you can out of it. Like me, try to do something that you've never done before. Play a build that you've never played before. Play with items you've never played before. Learn how to craft, right? That's pretty much what I've been doing. I've been learning how to craft because a lot of these fractured bases are dropping, or they're insanely cheap because of the amount of them that are dropping, right? So I was able to pick up all my gear and craft it majorly myself for fairly cheap, right? And I've never had more fun in a league. Potentially Sentinel, just because some of the items I was able to make in Sentinel is fucking cracked. I think I showed my boots that were like triple essence plus like tailwind, and they were so good to me. Like, and like that's not even counting the gear that I had that poofed, because at the end of Sentinel, I double corrupted all of my gear, right? And I think I ended up poofing like half of it, but still. Play the league, have fun, do something that you've never done before, but most of all, enjoy it and take advantage of it. If you're a newer player, or even if you're a more experienced player, make sure you take advantage of stuff that you've never been able to. That way, at the very least, when this league ends and all your character goes to standard, if you're a new player, you still have a insane amount of currency to play around with to actually learn the game in the off season if that's something you want to do. But like I said, I'm going to stop ranting. I'm going to end the video. Thank you. Goodbye.